Hey fans, I'm Dustin Davis and I'll update you on everything happening in Chicago. The Bears front office has been working overtime. One day removed from their latest victory, Chicago's roster underwent another round of adjustments, a clear signal that depth remains fragile even as wins pile up. The organization is scrambling to patch holes while the coaching staff prepares for what comes next. Internal pressure continues to mount as injuries force difficult decisions. With key contributors sidelined and practice squad churn accelerating, the Bears are leaning heavily on emergency measures to keep their playoff push intact. The margin for error is shrinking and every transaction carries weight. Chicago sits at a crossroads where short-term fixes collide with long-term vision. The decisions made now on who stays, who goes, and who gets elevated will echo beyond this season. Yet, the full picture remains incomplete, waiting to be revealed one roster move at a time. Let's check out some great moves today. First of all, let me take a moment to ask for your help. If you enjoy our videos, give us a like. It's a great way to keep the content going. Thanks for the support. One day following their Week 24 victory against Pittsburgh, the Bears executed another roster transaction in response to a fresh linebacker injury suffered during the contest. Chicago's official transaction log confirmed that the club brought in Dominique Hampton, a linebacker previously with Washington, adding him to the practice squad on Monday, November 24. The move was part of a broader effort to reinforce depth at the practice level. Hampton entered the league as Washington's fifth-round pick in 2024. During his initial training camp, he split time between safety and linebacker before the Commanders permanently shifted him to linebacker. Though he earned a spot on Washington's open-day roster, Hampton's playing time was severely limited. He logged just 6 total snaps, all on special teams, and dressed for only one game throughout his rookie campaign. Chicago's linebacker situation had already reached crisis levels heading into Week 12. The team ruled out 3 starters, Tremaine Edmunds, TJ Edwards, and Noah Sewell, before kickoff after all 3 were unable to practice throughout the week due to injuries. While the defense scrambles to patch holes, one key player has finally begun delivering on his massive contract with dominant play. Chicago fans have waited patiently for Montez Sweat to unleash the type of season the Bears envisioned when they handed him a massive contract. Recent evidence suggests that moment has arrived. Sweat's 2025 campaign began quietly. He managed just a single sack through the first 5 weeks. Over the next 6 games, however, he exploded for 6.5 sacks. His Week 12 performance against Pittsburgh stood out as particularly destructive. Sweat finished with 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and 2 quarterback hits. The $98 million investment is finally paying dividends. Through 11 games, Sweat has accumulated 7.5 sacks and 12 quarterback hits. His production this season represents a significant rebound after a disappointing 2024 campaign, in which he recorded only 5.5 sacks, a sharp decline from the 12.5 sacks he posted in 2023 while splitting time between Washington and Chicago. Doubt emerged if the contract was justified if Sweat had begun to decline. This year's narrative has flipped. With fellow edge rusher Dayo Odeyingbo unavailable due to injury, Sweat has absorbed additional snaps and responsibility. His response has been emphatic. Sweat's resurgence has been instrumental during Chicago's impressive stretch. The Bears have won 8 of their last 9 games and has helped position the team for a legitimate postseason run. When the pass rush has struggled to generate consistent pressure, Sweat has frequently been the one delivering it from the edge and forcing quarterbacks into uncomfortable situations. It has been a standout season for the defensive end, and with 6 games remaining, he has ample opportunity to continue building his case for Pro Bowl recognition.
Meanwhile, Chicago's front office was quietly shopping for backfield help before last weekend's game, targeting a familiar name. The Bears were actively searching for backfield reinforcements in the days leading up to their Week 12 home win over Pittsburgh. According to NFL insider Aaron Wilson, Chicago extended an offer to Dameon Pierce, a former starting running back with Houston, before Pierce ultimately chose to sign with Kansas City's practice squad. Former Texans starting running back Dameon Pierce, who's signing with Chiefs practice squad, had offers from Chargers, Broncos, Bears, Eagles, Colts, Bengals, along with interest from the Dolphins, per NFL sources. Wilson reported on X ahead of Sunday Night Football on November 23rd. Wilson further noted that Philadelphia general manager Howie Roseman made a strong push for Pierce, even personally calling the running back to discuss a potential deal before Pierce elected to join the Chiefs. Pierce cleared waivers last week after Houston released him from the active roster prior to their Thursday Night Football clash with Buffalo. In Kansas City, he will compete for a game-day elevation while the Chiefs rely on Kareem Hunt in Isaiah Pacheco's absence. Pierce would have brought roughly 20 games of starting experience to Chicago's backfield had he accepted the Bears' offer. That said, he is no longer the ascending prospect he appeared to be 2 years ago. Pierce burst onto the scene as a 2022 fourth-round rookie, compiling 1,104 scrimmage yards, 939 rushing, and 5 touchdowns in 13 games. He also garnered the 9th most votes for Offensive Rookie of the Year, finishing ahead of then-rookie Isaiah Pacheco in the balloting. His trajectory reversed after that promising debut. A lackluster 2023 saw veteran Devin Singletary claim the starting role, and Houston then brought in Joe Mixon for 2024, who commanded the majority of touches. Pierce appeared poised for a bounce back in 2025 when Mixon suffered an off-season injury, but he lasted only 2 games before Houston reduced his workload in favor of fourth-round rookie Woody Marks, relegating Pierce to a change of pace role alongside 2025 addition Nick Chubb. Pierce arrives in Kansas City having rushed just 7 times for 26 yards this season. Though Chicago missed on Pierce, the team is clearly still evaluating options to reinforce a banged-up backfield. DeAndre Swift and rookie Kyle Monongai were both active against Pittsburgh, but Roschon Johnson, thumb, and Travis Homer, hamstring/knee, were ruled out on the final injury report. Chicago escalated its concern by placing Johnson on injured reserve over the weekend, a designation that sidelines him for at least 3 games. Looking ahead to March, the Bears may have identified their next cost-effective solution at running back, one already auditing for his next deal. Ben Johnson's offense has transformed Chicago's rushing attack into one of the NFL's most potent units, yet the front office may still seek upgrades to maintain that standard. Signing an affordable veteran running back in free agency would represent a low-risk opportunity to complement the improved offensive line. Rico Dowdley has positioned himself as a realistic candidate. The 27-year-old is enjoying a career year and is set to reach free agency next March. He has openly acknowledged that each week serves as an audition for his next contract. Despite sharing carries with Chuba Hubbard, Dowdley has rushed for 833 yards and 5 touchdowns on 5.0 yards per attempt. His production builds on a breakout 2024 campaign with Dallas, during which he rushed for 1,079 yards. Speaking on November 21st, Dowdley explained the urgency he feels performing on a 1-year deal. "Every week is an audition for me, being on a 1-year contract. All 31 teams are always watching, so I wouldn't say just this week in particular, but I definitely know I've got to go out there and do my best." Chicago currently ranks 4th in total offense at 373.8 yards per game, driven largely by a rushing attack that sits 2nd in the league at 146.6 yards per contest. Why consider changes to an already elite running game? The answer lies in contract value and the underlying factors fueling Chicago's success through Week 11. First, the offensive line has improved dramatically compared to 2024. 4 new starters along the line have gelled effectively, generating superior blocking and creating space for ball carriers. 1-year offensive line makeovers are typically the stuff of myths, but Chicago's 4 new starters along the line have come together swimmingly. Chicago leads the league in expected yards per carry per NFL Next Gen stats. In other words, the blocking in space when the back gets the ball is better in Chicago than anywhere else in the league. The second factor is financial. Signing a player like Dowdley while parting ways with RB1 DeAndre Swift could generate meaningful salary cap relief. Chicago could free up approximately $7.5 million by releasing Swift this offseason, absorbing about $1.33 million in dead cap. Swift has produced 634 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns on 4.7 yards per carry across 9 games. Johnson's track record, he traded Swift away while serving on Detroit staff prior to 2023, demonstrates his willingness to prioritize scheme fit over big-name credentials despite Swift's Pro Bowl pedigree and subsequent contract with Chicago. 7th-round rookie Kyle Monongai has proven capable of serving as a legitimate number 2 option. The Bears could select a running back in the 2026 draft, but given defensive priorities, they are unlikely to allocate an early pick to the position. Therefore, a moderate free agent signing with upside, the type of mid-tier deal Spotrac projects at roughly $7.8 million per year on a 2-year contract, makes strategic sense. If Dowdley underperforms, Monongai can develop into his 2nd season, and Chicago can reset in 2027, potentially pursuing a premium prospect similar to when the Lions selected Jahmyr Gibbs 12th overall in 2023. Is Rico Dowdley the perfect low-risk, high-reward option for Chicago's backfield in 2026, or should the Bears stick with DeAndre Swift and invest their offseason capital elsewhere? Would moving on from Swift be a smart financial decision or a mistake that could hurt the offense? Leave your analysis in the comments. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Join the community for exclusive daily content. We're here to keep you updated with everything going on in Chicago. See you next time.